We shall next discuss the Turing machine construction for n factorial. So please note TM accepts input in unary form. Say input is n, for example, say n is 5, then we represent them in unary representation, and output is n factorial. In this case it is 5 factorial, which means the output will also be represented in unary. So after performing some sequence of operations, or after performing a procedure, at the end of it, if you look at the output tape, we will see that there are 120 ones. There are a couple of interesting things to note before we proceed with our approach. Please note there are n ones and there are n factorial ones in the output. So we perform some operation and then we write a 1 over here, then we will have to move right, write another one, move right another one, and so on. So which means just to write this itself we need 120 read-write it moves. There may be other moves. For example, you may have to move from here to this part of the tape, again go back, do some computation, come back, and so on. So that shows that we need at least omega of n factorial read-write it moves. So here is a problem for which we need n factorial cells on the output tape. In general, if a problem requires exponential space to write the output, then the algorithm runs in at least so much, at least that exponential time, which means it's omega of n factorial, or omega of c power n, or omega of n power n, and so on. Input is polynomial in n, it is n itself, and output is exponential with respect to this. Reason n factorial is upper bounded by n power n and lower bounded by n by e to the power n. Which means any algorithm to write n factorial ones on the tape incurs at least this much time. Okay, so given this, let's see how to proceed with our approach. What we are going to do is n factorial can be seen as 1 into 2 so on up to n, which means we can make use of multiplication routine to perform or to compute n factorial. So we know that a star b incurs order of a square b square, which is ab square quadratic in an input size. So to multiply 1 and 2, we need, so total number of read-write it moves to perform multiplication is the following. So to perform 1 and 2, we need 1 square times 2 square. With that result, we multiply 3, which is 2 square into 3 square. With that we multiply 4, which is 6 square into 4 square. With that we multiply 5, which is 24 square into 5 square, and so on. So most importantly, one should look at this series and pay attention to the details. For example, this can be rewritten as 1 factorial square into 2 square. This can be written as 2 factorial square into 3 square. This is 3 factorial square into 4 square, 4 factorial square into 5 square, and so on. Which means what would be our last term? If you proceed with that, we will see that it will be n minus 1 factorial square times n square. So we would have performed this many moves, at least this many moves. So probably we would have performed something more. So we would have performed at least this many moves to complete our task. So total number of moves is at least this much. Let's focus on this term, and so this part, you just look at this, which is n minus 1 factorial square into n square. I'm leaving these terms. N minus 1 factorial into n square is n factorial square. That shows that total number of moves is at least n factorial square, which is exponential in input size. We may need probably more if you look at this and other terms, but essentially we need at least this many space or this much time to compute factorial. So here is a problem, which is, this is the first problem we see, for which input is Pauli in n, which is n itself, and output is exponential in n with respect to the underlying representation. Underlying representation is unary. It represents n ones and n factorial ones. Now we wish to know this problem. Suppose I change the model. If I change the model to say RAM base 2, will it still take exponential time or will it run in polynomial time? Suppose I change it to RAM base 10, will it run in exponential time or poly in n? Okay, so let's look at this part. Say RAM base 10, or what we implement as part of our C or C++. We run a loop from 1 to n. We say fact is equal to fact star I. And what would be the time complexity? So time complexity is order n or theta of n, correct? Please note, this n, this is magnitude or the value. So you pass n is equal to 5, this says something like theta of 5. This is not input size. Over here, n is magnitude as well as n is input size, because we need 5 cells to represent, maybe 5 plus 1, 6. So we need 5 cells to represent, we need n factorial ones to represent. If you look at input size and output size, they are in line with n and n factorial. Over here, we say time complexity of an algorithm is theta of n, but n is not the input size, n is actually magnitude or value. So I cannot say this algorithm runs in poly in input size, but instead it is poly in magnitude or value. Please note, unless I bring all mathematical models onto one platform, I may not be able to compare and comment saying this one is better algorithm, this one is an efficient algorithm, and so on. This one is linear, but it's linear in magnitude. It is not linear in input size. Suppose it is linear in input size, then we can say to solve factorial problem, you go for RAM based on model. Suppose you go for the input size, to analyze this, algorithm remains the same, and I'm just focusing on the theoretical part. Suppose you represent n as say 10 power log n base 10. Then this algorithm is theta of 10 power log n base 10. Fine. And it is base 10 representation. So which means to represent n in base 10, we need how many bits? We need theta of log n base 10 bits. This is precisely our input size. Most importantly, this is our input size. Which means if you bring input size, algorithm remains the same. I'm just changing my analysis. If I want to compare these two, I have to bring them onto uniform platform, right? So I'm bringing input size into the picture. So I'm asking how many bits I need to represent n in say base 10. So we need it is floor of log n base 10 plus 1 and so on. So but it is theta of log n base 10 bits. This is our input size, which means this one can be rewritten as 10 power log n base 10. Now the time complexity is represented as a function of input size. What is our input size? Log n base 10. But interesting part is this also runs in exponential time, exp in input size. Correct? So you algorithm remains the same. I'm just changing the analysis. For that, I brought in input size. Then I'm rewriting the time complexity of the algorithm in terms of the input size. It turns out that it is running in exponential in input size. Now, so we have not achieved anything better than this. Even in the other model, it turns out that it is exponential in input size. Now the interesting question is, what about RAM base 2? Does it run in poly time or exp time? Which we shall see next.